3, here we go.
Music on the Metolius. Music on the Metolius.
Y'all are so good at improvisation. Do you get a little squirrely with recording?
We used to go to nice studios and record albums, and now we just record everything at home. And then it is improvised. I wake up in my pajamas, and then I'm like, I'm gonna record this today, and then there it is.
That's so good. Yeah, it does change when you're not paying a lot of money by the hour. We built a studio in our house too, and that is different.
It's less pressure.
Less pressure. But even so, there's something a little different when the tape starts rolling. Or I think I tend to just be like, I like the first take, that had all the feeling. And if you keep doing it, I don't feel it anymore. So maybe tomorrow.
I think that's a good way to do it because after like 4 times, I don't think you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Just
diminishing returns.
Come back and do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
When's the last time you guys recorded, or have you guys recorded any songs recently?
Yeah, we've been recording. We let it get a little slow with like a kind of a full family load, but we started recording piece by piece, like a newer song that I wrote. That's what's fun is when you can go in right away and record something that's pretty new and like fresh because you feel all that aliveness. And that's a more produced song, so we're taking our time like adding things, subtracting things. But the next album coming out is just a purely like live
acoustic duo
like live.
Cool.
And I wouldn't feel comfortable with that, except for that it's in our own studio and we can just go in there and like we can do a little hypnotic induction or whatever and get into our special place and then just go play like from the purest place, go play the whole set of everything or even more than we want to play and then just walk away out of the studio and do that for a couple months and then start to go back through and be like, on November 15th, we just got a magical take of this song. I have no patience anymore for trying to force it to happen that day or whatever, or even trusting my own judgment that day, right? Mm-hmm. Can you guys talk to me about the role of humor in your set?
Oh my gosh, please.
I think it comes from a couple places. One is we haven't played for you guys a lot of our music yet, but a lot of our music is really heavy and talks about really intense things. Like we're very much like an anti-war band. Our most recent album is called End the Wars. And so we talk about a lot of really pretty intense subjects, from environmental destruction to kind of highly political, let's take our money and put it into infrastructure and helping the homeless and fixing the problems at home and talking about those types of really charged topics, I think requires you to bring some humor to the stage so you don't make it feel like a lecture or like you're telling people how to live. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's one place where our humor came from early on. Was I could feel the audience being like, and we're like, okay, let's lighten this up a little bit.
You want to play one of those heavy songs?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We decided to bring the bass clarinet. We've been teaching at this song camp in Sisters for the Folk Fest, and this is a very much no one's playing a bass clarinet. So I was like, we should bring the bass clarinet out and play one of these songs for the recording. And this is actually the title track to that. It's the title track to that album, and it's called End the Wars.
Back home. it boiling out of control. Tear down that wall, all for one and one for all. 'Cause no one is free until the world has liberty. Did you hear it? Feel it down in your soul? Did you see it boiling out of control? And the wars give the money to the poor and bring troops back home. Leave those poor countries alone and tear down that wall, all for one and one for all. 'Cause no one is free until the world has liberty.
The same way that I think climate activists are doing, like if you inspire love, like if people can see the beauty in some, like in the river, maybe they're more compelled to take care of it, right?
Yeah.
If you can give people a moment of like love and oneness and togetherness in your art, well, maybe they're more likely to just be like, oh, yeah, I'd like to help that person out. Someone said it's the job of the artist to make the revolution look irresistible. Like it's supposed to look so good. Like this is oneness consciousness. This is what we're talking about now, that we take care of each other. And like if we can make it like look good and fun and juicy, and like this is actually what's sustaining this moment of connection, and that you have creative practice like songwriting, the song camp we're teaching at. If you have your own creative practice like songwriting, well, you're rich. Like that's part of what makes you rich. And so when you give people something that's like really stays, that doesn't just last 30 seconds, I think it adds to the world we want to see. That notion that you can't escape without the heartache, right, is what made me finally open up to having a good relationship, because I was like, oh, I'm always like hiding from the breakup. Like I'm just so scared of like a breakup. And I realized, somebody pointed out, if all goes perfectly well, this still ends in heartache. There's only one way this ends, and it's heartache, because somebody dies. Even if you get the happy ending, somebody dies. You can't escape the heartache. And I was like, hot damn, okay. Just go all in, Molly, because there's no protecting yourself. Like you're gonna get ripped up. That's how we live.
It's true.
Yep.
To the On this side of the main street, on a plastic covered couch, I see two skinny white boys laying there passed out, their foreheads on the armrest, their Nikes on the ground. Who knows, they might have been your favorite band, but now they living in my town. And I pull up to the cashier's, handsome as he's sad, he is scanning my items as I stuff them in a bag. And I note his sculpted eyebrows, his clothes tight to the floor. I think he should be on the big screen with that face, but here I see him at the store. Ooh, that's somebody's child. Ooh, might as well be mine. Shuffling to the corners, whole life in a heart is an LL Bean backpack and a faded blue tarp. And he stoops down for a butt, flicks off the dirt, and then he winks at me. I feel he might have been my teacher in another life, but here he's doing it for free. Ooh, that's somebody's child. Ooh, might as well be mine. Long yellow hair standing at the traffic light, squints in the sun with a big toothless smile, and the sign that she drew says too ugly to prostitute. Of course I gave her all my money, said you're beautiful, she says so are you. Ooh, that's I once was someone's child. Ooh, might as well be hers and his and yours. You may as well be mine. May as well be mine. Yay!
Wow.
Beautiful.
I love that song.
Thanks.
It hits me right at the decay of America, you know? Yeah.
Right at the decay
That's where it
point.
gets
It hits
you.
me right in the opioid crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, over half of homeless people, houseless people have full-time jobs. They're working, you know, hours and hours.
It's
And
nuts.
just makes you grateful to be able to be in a beautiful place like this and spend time with amazing souls such as yourself and share music and share such a great week. This has been really nice hanging out with you guys.